It's Monday, y'all. And, it is the week before Christmas. So there's a lot of things to get into. I've got a stack of things that I need to do open boxes for as we are getting into 2023 and making some changes, adding to our repertoire, if you will. Make sure I'm coming through good here. All right, sounds like I'm doing good. So yeah, we're making some changes. We're doing some things. So we need to go ahead and get this thing going, so y'all can I can get these products into action. And we've got a great open box for you this afternoon. It's 12:33 in Kitsap County. It is 32 degrees. Be careful out there, everyone. The weather outside is frightful, for sure. For sure. So today we're going to be opening up the Pyle PDWM8300 microphones. Super excited for that. Let me add my other camera in here so that you can get a good gander. Where you at, other camera? You on? You are on. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? It is on. All right. Let's go ahead and add that camera on in there. 1080p. Here we go. Here we go. Once upon a time, not long ago. All right. So this is the Pyle PDWM8300. So as we are doing more and more great things, we need to be able to, let me go ahead and change my camera angle here. We need to be able to do all things, right? So we have our new edition of our PTZ cameras. So we have all kinds of nice range. And this one, let's see, right? So as you can see on my bottom camera here, let me switch that back on over here, right? We've got one PTZ camera there. For all you Count Chocula folks. PTZ camera number 2 right there. Boom. And then, of course, the camera that is capturing all that is PTZ camera number 3, right? So we're asked very often to do different events in different places. And so because of that, we need to be able to, one, deploy the same quality wherever we're doing an event, and two, try to make it as easy as possible because staffing is always a challenge, right? And there's quite the learning curve when you're trying to either record an event out into the community. And you know how technology is, right? You got your technology, you're doing the best you can. Technology, always something happens. So the easier you can make it, the better, right? And so now I don't have to have someone running around. Hey, move this camera over here. Go ahead and move that over there. You've got control at your fingertips. As such, what they say is whenever you're doing production, your audio is actually more important than your video. People can listen to you, but if your sound is really bad, no bueno, not good. So we're going to get into this today. Super excited about that. I'm going to share with you all the information. Now, this so happened to be a Black Friday purchase. I knew that we were going to need some things into the new year. So what I wanted to do was take advantage of that and selectively, I don't even think selectively is a word. Selectively waited until Black Friday to go ahead and make some of these purchases, right? And that's always a good thing to do. Cyber Monday, buy things when they're not in season, buy your grill now. Good time to get a grill. Things like that, right? So you can try to maximize what you're going to spend. And these things, they're not cheap, especially as you're adding and, you need cables to go with them and all that good stuff. So it can get up there and it can be kind of frustrating there. but don't let it bog you down and get you worried. Just build a little bit at a time. And as always, you don't even need all of this to podcast. So if that's something that you're going to do into the next year, cell phone is all you need. It really is all you need. Okay. But it gives me an excuse to say, what I need. Hey, how you doing there, Rob? Yes. I am Count. All right, so let's jump into this bad boy. Shout out to Pastor Ellington, helping me do some research on this and giving me some recommendations. Actually, what I originally had was more than twice the amount, but he found this particular 8 mic set, conference set, on sale for $280. Okay, I'm gonna say that again, $280. Get a horn up for Pastor Ellington. Oh, snap, y'all. So this is an 8-channel wireless microphone system, portable VHF cordless audio mic set with 1/4-inch and XLR outputs. Dual antenna, includes a 8 tabletop mics rack, mountable. Okay, so you can mount the rack. I'm not going to be mounting it because, well, this is for me taking on location, right? In case we have a lot to do. Now, one thing you'll notice here is Pyle has sealed it with their own tape, right? So this isn't like an aftermarket thing. I'm going to go ahead and break the seal. Bam. So everything should be on inside. Now, if we were in a studio where it was just going to be static, cameras are set up, mics aren't really going to move around too much. Well, they're wireless. I can move those around. But the receiver piece, I could mount this nice and neat. It would be out of the way. But we're always on the go. So this is important for us. All right, so what do we got in here? We've got our user manual. Move my water over here. And of course, read your user manual, which, let's see. Do as I say, not as I do. Oh, that's great. Okay, we'll put that on over there. Let's get into this bad boy. All right. So what we have is our standard cable here. And I should have hooked up my wireless mic. So as you guys know, I've been sick. I got the COVIDs. So I'm behind even more so than normal. Wednesday, I just kind of fell off a cliff after speaking out at the Bainbridge Island Museum. Shout out to them. 2 antennas here. And man, I tell you what, it was tough. It was really tough that Wednesday night. But hey, Kendra, how you doing? But it's getting better. So happy about that. So you've seen some of our other wireless mics that we use. And we have some that go over the ear, or your lavaliers. You've got 2 different ways. And then we also have a 4-mic system, traditional handheld mics. Okay. Here's our 1/4-inch connectors. Can't never have too many of these. Go ahead and do that. Always appreciate when the cord is longer, depending on where you're setting it up, right? This is really kind of designed for mounting. So this is a 3-foot cable here. Ting! Mounting bracket, which we're not going to mount that. I'm just leave that in there. And here's our receiver. Nice and light, not too heavy, which is always good, especially since, again, we'll be on the road quite a bit. Again, this is a 8-channel hands-free wireless microphone system. Pyle is a known brand, so feel good about that. Here's our back. This is going to be where our power goes. This is going to be for our mix out. This is our 1/4-inch out there. This is going to be for our XLR out. This is where our antennas go, and there are 4 antennae. And those are really easy. They just kind of sit on the back. There's they've got 2 little dimples on there. And once you get them in there, you just kind of twist and turn, and then boom. And then they even raise up. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do that while I'm here. Let me go ahead and do it while I'm here. Most come with 2, right? And so I guess it's like for 2 antennae, it can run 4 mics. So you're going to need 4 antennae to run 8 mics. That sounds like a math equation. 4x equals 8. Solve for x. Well, what would you do? You've got multiplication, so you'd have to divide, and what you do to one side of the equation, you do to the other. For all of you business math students out there, shout out to you. Hope you are all doing well and thriving. And you say you wouldn't use math. What do I need math for? Oh, you need it. Hey, Kendra. Yeah, I got it pretty bad there. Wednesday, I got the COVIDs. It hit me. But, it is what it is, I was petrified. Something, da-da-da. I got all my life to live. All right. And then we have 8 channels. So this is really simple, right? We got our power, and then we have each channel, 1 through 8, right? 8 mics. I'm going to go ahead and just set those to the halfway mark, okay? And again, I like putting things back where they were. One, it's really nice because if you need to return it, and Amazon has great return policies during the holiday time. But you want to know how you packed it up so that you can get it back should you need to, right? Always have a knife. If you don't have a knife, get a knife. Every time I look up, I need my knife. Cut open cardboard, plastic. It's my letter opener. Really an all-in-one. It's great. Okay. Boom. All right. Kind of feel like, what's his name on The Price is Right? I'm Bob Barker. Yeah. All right. Too much? Okay, I couldn't help myself. All right, let's see what else we got here. So, let me see if I can zoom in here so you guys can see this a little bit better there. Whoops. I see this just makes it so nice and easy. I don't have to get up. I could just stay seated and show you everything that I need to show you, right? So they got this little styrofoam cutout, and the batteries are even wrapped. So got to cut those open. And I probably won't test them all. I'll probably just plug in one. But this is our open box episode here for the Pyle conference microphone set here. 8-piece, which is fantastic. All right, look at that. This looks like your mute button on off, which is awesome. You got to put your 9-volt battery here in the bottom. Not always a big fan of batteries. However, what I will say is 9-volt batteries tend to have a really good life. And if you're good at taking your batteries out, you can preserve the life of your batteries. Oh, Shay's on here. Hey, Shay. So do that. Try to make sure that you turn your equipment off. And definitely, to save on corrosion and erosion, please take your batteries out of your devices if you're not going to be using them for a while, okay? And if you ever opened up maybe your remote control or some other device that uses a battery and it's all white and it's all caked, and you don't want that. You don't want that. Change it out. Also, it is wintertime. So there we go. Power button on, off, right? Boom, boom, bam. Okay. And this is an XLR connection. So we're just going to go ahead and stick it in there. And go ahead and screw the ring in. And bam, there you go. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. All right. So this has a stable signal. It has clear sound. It's a portable wireless hand-free VHF mic set that has a channel frequency response of 50 hertz all the way down to 16 hertz and a high signal noise ratio performance for capturing high quality audio. So what is nice is, because it is battery powered, depending on, like, we're going to be at the Norm Dix building on Wednesday, right? And so if we were going to need our mics down there, doesn't matter what the configuration of the table setup is. It could be set up as a square, it could be set up as a C. You can have people at separate tables, right? Like kind of banquet style. You can just pick the microphones up and put them, and then the folks at the table can just, when it's their time, just grab the mic and talk to it and then pass it on to the next person. So I really do like that. Cuts down on wires. So I'm super excited to, put these in the field and give them a go. Now, this is an independent mic volume control. Each tabletop mic features its own dial volume, which I showed you on the front, right? Very, very plain and easy, right? Not a whole bunch of bells and whistles. I actually prefer it that way. Less is more. Oftentimes, I'm a firm believer in that. Sometimes, you just have all of these, kind of like our smartphone, right? Smartphone does all this stuff, and then what do we do with it? 85% of the time, we're just making phone calls on it or texting. But it can do all these other wonderful things that we pay all this money for that we have no idea what it does. It's just extra. You know what I'm saying? And we don't like, being extra. We look at that as a pejorative, not a positive, right? You all extra. So we don't want that. But it has its own dial volume control, so you can balance the vocals as desired. I may speak with a booming voice, but the next person might be very demure and, just kind of polite speaker, just kind of quiet. You could turn their mic up. And so that is definitely a benefit, right? Unscrew this one. Really interesting how they fed the plastic through the top, but inside the ring. Really wanted to keep everything together. And turn that off. And again, your XLR just plugs right in there, right? Just like a regular XLR mic. Pretty cool. And then we're just going to fasten the ring onto the bottom there. Okay. And what's nice is, well, let me lower it, right? When you hit the button, it comes on. Your mic is hot, right? Ain't that cool? Now, if there's a way to switch that out to purple, I'm just saying. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and take this out now. And in here, we've got another layer, right? Because this was 4 of them. I'll just kind of tilt my box up this way for you to see. Okay. We've got some wing guards on here, so we'll go ahead and pull those out. And I believe that's all we got. That's all it is to it. Nothing to it but to do it. Let me go ahead and pop a wing guard on here. You gonna cooperate and let me put you on here? Keep it nice and tight so it doesn't fall off. Be careful when you put these on, right? It's pretty tight, nice tight fit. However, you can rip the foam and I hate ripped phone. I did it with a one of my regular handheld mics, and there's a big divot in one of the phone pieces. It drives me crazy, and I did it, so I can't put it on nobody else. It was my fault, but I don't like it. All right, so that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and you know what? I'll just put this stuff back in the box. I don't need to connect all 8 because I'm just doing a test. And if you take care of your thing, I tell my team all the time, just take your time. I know at the end of an event, we're tired. We want to go. But if we keep this foam and everything how it is, we can just pack it back up in here. And look how easy that is, right? What I love about this too is the flexibility of it all. We may not need to use all 8 microphones. We may only need to use 1, 2, 3 mics maybe, you know? So I love that flexibility with that. I can appreciate that. Let's see. All right. So this has the mixed quarter output, which I was showing you before. Now I'm going to need a longer one because this isn't, I don't really have space over on this side of the table. I guess I can make it work. Quarter mix output for the PDWM8300. And this is the 1/4 inch mixed output. You can hook it up, all microphones to 1 input into your mixer, which I am going to be connecting to my Rodecaster Pro 2 here in the distance there. In the wee distance, lad. That's what I'm going to be connecting to. All right. So I'm going to connect to this. When I'm on the road, if I'm doing really big shows, I bring this with me. If I want to have, all my sounds and, it's all just makes it easier. Of course, I could just use my Stream Deck for my sounds. I do have some of those plugged in. My desk is a little small here, so my Stream Deck is a little too far away from me. But I also use the PodTrack 4. So it's a little smaller version of this. It's about 1/4 of this size. So I can take that, I can plug all the mics into one, and now I've got these 8 mics that can be deployed at the event, which is fantastic, right? But typically, if I'm going to do a large event, or if you see me at the church at New Horizon Ministries, they'll be using the first version of the Rodecaster Pro. So the Rodecaster Pro, just Pro, right? Not number 1, because the 2 is the number 2. There you go. So what was in the box? The box included the rack mount, which I showed you that, right? The little L bracket there. It comes with your 8 receiver bases, 8 tabletop microphones. It can be used outdoors and indoors, which we do a lot of outdoor events. So that's important to us to be able to have that flexibility. So again, can't wait to try that out because we did a lot of events in the summertime out and about. Personal home use, I guess that could save space. I'm going to tell you right now that microphone is not going to sound as good as this microphone. It's like a $200-300 microphone. So the quality is just not going to be there. And so for my home, I will continue to use this mic. However, if you do not have a microphone and, this is something that you could use, not that you would buy an 8-set setup, for 8. So I don't know what they really kind of mean by you could use it for your home setup. But if your home happens to be your studio, then c'est la vie. All right. What else does this thing have on here? Professional VHF 8-channel wireless system, 1/4 inch individual line outputs, and a mixed 1/4 inch output, operational range of 50 to 180 meters. For us Americans, how many feet is a meter? Oh, Echo. How many feet is a meter? So we're talking about, we're going to multiply that by 3, 150 feet to, 9 times 540 feet. That's far. Okay. I would that would be a hell of a test to see if this could go almost a football field and a half. I might not use it at that distance, but hey, this might be great at fairgrounds, right? We'll be out there for Martin Luther King Day celebration out there. So, maybe I do try to test it in the field and see if it has that capability. That would be pretty awesome. Okay. 8 tabletop microphones included, and they carry the frequency of 174 megahertz to 216 megahertz. If you need to know that, okay, your signal to noise ratio is 90 decibels, and your microphone dimension is about 12 and a half inches by 4.9 inches by 5.9 inches. So there's a dual telescoping receiver antennas, which you saw the 4 antennas there on the back. Go back and change my angle here so we can do it side by side. I'll just turn it backwards here. Let me turn it backwards. You got me twisted, girl. All right. So there you go. You see, these are the 4 antennas that they were talking about. I have them totally opened up now. And your receivers, your standard AC 110 to 240 volt, 8 volume controls, which were on the front. Like I said, very basic there. So this is a very low cost. I would say this is kind of an entry level mic set for under $300. You're getting 8 mics for $280. If you divide, 8 goes into 280, 3 times carry the 4, so about $35 a microphone. That's a pretty awesome deal. I think that's pretty good. And then on-off broadcasting switch, and so your mic is hot when it's red, and so when you have novices or guests that aren't typically using a microphone, you get to just say, hey, how you doing? Welcome. Gonna have a great show today. We're gonna have a good meeting. When you want to talk, just hit the button. It'll turn red. You're live. And then when you're done, just hit the button and turn it off because you're on a hot mic and you don't want to say something you don't want to say, right? All right, so I guess the last thing to do is to go ahead and plug it in. Let me go ahead and see if I can't bring it over here as I said. Since I do have room, I can make it work. I know I can. I know I can be what I want to be. And if I work hard at it, for all you Nas folks out there. All right. So literally, just plug it in your power cord here. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And the last thing to do is just to plug in our 1/4-inch cable here, which my system there, which you probably just heard that, can accommodate. Not quite long enough. Yeah. Flip him on. And if I can't get my camera over this way. Do 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 do. What you doing, camera? Oh, there you go. Oh, you guys getting a sneak peek of all the stuff I need to do an open box for over there. Stuff's been sitting there for a while. I'm gonna get to it. I promise. I've been busy. I can't work under these conditions. All right, this nigga saying, "Hey man, you're too far away. I can't zoom in enough on that." All right, so I gotta get you a little lower there. No, not me. There we go. What you want to see this? This is what the people want to see. Right? That's what they want to see. All right. Go ahead and turn this on. This is microphone 4 here. I'm going to turn mic 1 off. Now I may need to change my inputs on 4 because this is not a condenser. It's actually being connected through by a 1/4 inch cable. So line in. Let's see if that is all right. Looks like I got my mics there. I need to put my headphones on so I can hear what this sounds like. And out there in conduit land, I want you guys to tell me what it sounds like also. All right. So I'm going to turn this mic off. This is the main mic that I normally use. 1, 2. My name is Marwan Cameron. You are watching The Conduit. Hi. This is Marwan. I'm Marwan Cameron. You're watching The Conduit. All right. So what do you think there? We could turn the mic levels up there a little bit. Oh, this is mic 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I need to turn my headphones up a little bit. All right. I am Marwan Cameron. This is The Conduit. Let me go ahead and set this down. And I'm curious. And I'll point this back at us again. There's my little camera there. All right. Don't mind all those wires. I know it's a lot. All right. So here is our mic here that I'm speaking with. See if I can move it over so we can get me. So now you can see how far away I am from the microphone. How am I sounding right here? I can get a little bit closer to the mic. Go ahead and bend this down. All right. So I'm here today talking to you. I feel like I can hear you, hear myself just fine. Doesn't sound too bad to me. But what do you think? All right. So that is that mic there. Here is my. All right. You can get touching something in here. So that's why I'm getting that feedback. There we go. Whoa. Oh. It's you. Sorry about that. All right. So I have an external speaker that is playing me out also. So it is very weird now to, I've done so many podcasts. If I can't hear myself, it sounds really weird. So I like to actually hear myself in my own ears when I'm having a conversation. So, yeah, so you think it sounds really good? So this is the regular mic, Rob. And here is the new Pyle mic here. So this is what this mic sounds like. To me, it sounds a little bit more tinny. I could set this up through XLR and not through a 1/4 inch cable. That might also change some of the sound. Now, I can also play around with some of the processing. I can, change the big bottom and some other settings on there to change that microphone. But this really is for a conference or a panel or something like that, right? And hold on, let me take this one out because I don't have the wing guard on there, so you hear it on my 1, 2, 3. All right, see, so that sounds a lot better, right? It protects from all those p's. So that is a lot better. The new one sounds better and louder on the podcast. Interesting, huh? Okay, well, there you go. Sounds like this was a good deal. Um, Getting a little bit of a hiss there. I'm always looking at the noise. I'll make sure that everything is tight. So the next test will be to go into a large area and try it out and see if we, how far our range is. I definitely want to test all 8 at the same time. Um, you know, More cell phones in the area, maybe some laptops, see if we're getting any distortion or any noise because of different electronics. But this is the review of the Pyle PDWM8300. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've got so many more things to open during this holiday season. So I will see y'all soon. All right, y'all.